Before you sit down and write any headline, let's be clear on the SEO research that you would have done ahead of time. So you want to know if there are any certain keywords that you're going to be incorporating into your writing, and especially, of course, the title. You're also going to be clear on what is the main message you're trying to get across in this piece of writing. You want to make sure there is a call to action. There's some kind of goal for the page, and it could be sign up for a newsletter or contact us or even just think about this thing. But we want to be sure that we have pages with goals. We also want to keep in mind how people read online. The F pattern is one of a variety of ways people read online, but especially is used for articles. So here's an article from the American Cancer Society, and if I put this kind of F on top of it, you can kind of see that we know from eye tracking research that people are reading from left to right in the Western world, and they tend to read the first few words of a headline or even a sentence, and then they start scanning down, and they do that over and over until they're kind of finding what they really want to dig in and read. So when you think of F, think F is for front load. I am going to front load sentences and titles. Let's pretend we're working for some kind of organization in Atlanta that has a variety of programs. If we want to focus on our location, I would lead the sentence with the words Atlanta based. If I wanted to focus on what we do, and maybe we have a program for young adults, that is what I would put in our headlines. If I wanted to focus on my target audience, because perhaps they're going to read this, maybe this article is going to be in a location where they might come see it, then I might put the target audience right there, because I just know from the F pattern that somebody might not get to the end. So front load your writing. Here are some examples of how you would do it in a sentence. Here, this sentence focuses on the location of Los Angeles. Here I'm focusing on how we help young adults. Focus on we, which is a very human way to do it with the pronoun, and then just really saying like, this is what we do. We help young adults. If we want to focus on the target audience, then we would maybe lead with the target audience. So we can do this in titles, and we can also do it in sentences. Your final touch after you've written what you think is a good title is to use one of the free headline analyzers you can find online to increase emotion. This is just to think about whether maybe using some kind of adjective could attract more people and help it be more meaningful. But I want to caution you. Being SEO friendly and really straightforward will always trump a catchy title. So sometimes on your website, it is a great thing to just use a really straightforward title. And then for something like social media where you might be promoting the article, you could then write something that might grab attention more. I want to remind you about accessibility as well. You need to be sure you're using your header 1 and your header 2 for page organization, for titles and subtitles. What we don't want to do is just bold things, because that will not be very accessible. So for example, this is the WYSIWYG that I use when I'm on my Squarespace site, and you might be in WordPress or Drupal or whatever system you use. The WYSIWYG editors all look the same, and instead of just clicking on bold for my headers here, I'm going to make sure I actually select either heading 1, heading 2, or heading 3. This will help with page organization, and this will be very helpful for people who are using screen readers. So be sure that when you are writing headlines for your page, write a great headline, but also make sure that it is being coded correctly on the back end to help with accessibility as well. And don't forget, front load those titles and sentences.